going to do a few other types of problems. The first thing that we're talking about are interest problems. How do you calculate interest?
It's like money throughout a period of time.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys remember the interest formula?
Oh, shoot.
It had a T in there.
It had a T.
Was it the
Two T's
exponent?
actually.
It was principal
Oh, it's like time over something.
times rate times time equals interest.
Oh, just that?
Oh, we didn't go over this.
I equals PRT. Haven't seen that one before?
We
Okay.
did.
Wait,
No, we
yeah,
did that.
Yeah, we did that
Okay.
for like a little bit.
So this is what's called the simple interest formula. To be honest, like in the real world, most things aren't calculated with simple interest, it's compound interest. We will get to compound interest later in the semester. For these problems, we're going to do simple interest so we can focus more on the setup and not all the other variables that come in when you do compound interest. Okay? So these first few are going to be kind of like the mixture problems from yesterday in that we're going to have several different things going on. So when I look at this one, it says Sarah has $70,000 to invest and requires an overall rate of return of 9%. She can invest in a safe, government-insured certificate of deposit, but it only pays 8%. To obtain 9%, she agrees to invest some of her money in non-insured corporate bonds paying 12%. How much should be placed in each investment to achieve her goal? Right, there's a ton of numbers there. What's happening?
She's invested.
She's investing, so she has this big lump sum, and she's going to split it up and put it in two different investments. Okay, so we have the first investment, the second investment, and the total, kind of like yesterday. So when we set this up, we're going to stick with the table to help organize all this information. And I'm just going to call it first, second, and total. You could be more specific if you wanted. The difference from yesterday, we're not talking about mixing liquids, we're talking about interest. So my formula across the top is P times R times T equals I. All right. She has 70,000. Is that the amount she's putting in the first, the second, or is that her total? Total. Principal is like your starting amount. So my total starting amount is 70,000, my total principal. And she wants to get a rate of return of 9%. So that is the rate for my total, 0.09. So she's going to put some of it in the first one. Do I know how much?
No.
So that would be my X. What's the interest rate of the first one? 8%, 0.08. All right, so for the next one, it's going to pay 12%. So my rate is 0.12. What am I going to put for the principal here?
X or 70,000 minus X.
Yeah, remember that last problem we did yesterday when we knew we had to have 8 pounds in our final mixture? Just think about it in terms of numbers if you ever get confused. Okay, if she wants 70,000 and we already have 20,000, how much more do we need? 50. You subtract them. So this would be 70,000 minus X. Okay, a lot of these problems may not mention time. Sometimes they will. Time has to be in years. So if I said 6 months, what would I put in for my time? 0.5 years. If I don't mention the time, we will assume 1 year for all of those. So now it's just like yesterday. We multiply across. So X times 0.08 times 1 is 0.08X. So then we have 0.12 times 70,000 minus X. 0.09 times 70,000. And then how did we write our equations? And that doesn't change. You just add the two you're mixing together to get your total. Alright, so we have 0.08x plus 0.12 times 70,000, 8,400. You notice, just like yesterday, when you're looking at these rates, you put your high and low together and your total one should fall in between them, the same as when we did our mixtures. So if we subtract over the 8,400, divide, and then what do you get?
52,500.
The question wanted to know how much should be placed in each investment. So when I look at this, X was the 8%. So there must be $52,500 at 8%. And how will I get the amount at 12%?
70,000 minus
72,000.
Right. The second one is 70,000 minus X. So 70,000 minus 52,500 is
17,500.
17,500 at 12%. Questions on that?
What?
Let's take a look at this one. So Linda won $200,000 in a state lottery. She first paid income tax on 30% on the winnings. Of the rest, she invested some at 1.5% and some at 4%, earning $4,350 interest per year. How much did she invest at each rate? So what do I do? Table. Okay, what formula goes across the top?
P times R times T equals I.
Okay, so I can put my first, second, and total. All right. So it starts out she won $200,000. So did she invest $200,000 altogether?
Yes. No. Maybe so.
That was her total.
That was her total to start with, but what happened before she made her investment?
She had to pay the tax.
She paid taxes on it first. So did she ever actually see all of that money?
No.
No. How would I figure out how much money she actually got?
Multiply by
200,000 times
0.3.
0.3.
My bad.
Okay, so we have a couple options. If you multiply it by 0.3, what do you get?
60,000.
60,000.
Then that would be the amount of tax she paid.
So you gotta subtract.
So then you would have to subtract it from the 200,000,
40,000.
which is 140. The alternative is you could just take it times 0.7 to begin with. If she paid 30%, she kept 70%, and you get the same thing. So I'm not going to use this 200,000 or the 30% anymore. I've taken care of that. So where do I put the 140,000?
Total.
Total principal. Okay, so she invested some at 1.5%. So my principal is X, my rate would be,
0.015.
all right, how much would I put at the second one?
That big number minus.
140, 140,000 minus that.
Good. And what's my rate?
0.04.
Okay, I did not give you a third interest rate this time. What did I give you?
How much here?
4,350.
Where would that number go?
And interest on food.
Total interest is 4,350. Sometimes we might have some gaps in our table. As long as we can get this final column, it's okay if we don't have everything back.
Then assume time this year.
Yeah, I'm talking about per year, so we can say 1 year. So then if I just multiply, we get our 0.015 times X, 0.04 times 140,000 minus X. And so then, how do we write the equation?
Add first to second.
If you needed to, couldn't you figure out what R was?
You absolutely could, just by dividing. Anybody jump?
I just don't think it was, I forgot.
Okay. So if we distribute, what's 0.04 times 140,000?
5,600.
Combine like terms.
Since it's money, do we want to just second this one?
Alright, if you subtract that over, you get negative 1,250. Divide by negative 0.025, and you get
50,000.
27,700.
Whoa.
um,
Yes, and if you need to divide.
Okay, so the question was, what did I ask? How much at each rate? So she invested $50,000 at 1.5%. And 140,000 minus 50,000,
90,000.
90,000 at 4%. Are these okay? So the next problem I want to do is a little bit different, but probably a little bit easier than what we have been doing. Televisions produces high-definition DVDs of live concerts. The company places an ad in a trade newsletter. The cost of the ad is $100. Each DVD costs $20 to produce, and the company charges $24 per DVD. All right, so I'm asking you, part A, express the cost as a function of X. So function notation, remember like f of x, this is c of x, cost as a function of x. It's basically just an equation for cost. This is linear, so think y equals mx plus b. So your m is your slope, that's your repeated cost. B is your y-intercept, so that's a one-time cost. So what would be my slope, my repeated cost? $20. That's how much it costs them to make it. So you pay that $20 for every DVD, so that's 20x. Plus, what is my one-time cost? The $100 we paid for the ad.
Pretty eventful day. Pretty eventful.
It is an eventful day. Okay, B, express the revenue as a function of X. What is revenue?
How much you're making?
Right, what you're making. So how do they make money?
Okay, I'm sure it's
$24
DVD.
So what would I write?
24x.
24x. They get the 24 every time. Do they have any one-time thing they're collecting? No, nobody donated $50 to them or anything, so that is their revenue. The only way they make money is by selling a DVD. And then part C. I'm asking you to find what's called the break-even point. I want to know, when does revenue equal cost? So what should I do?
Plug it in.
So my cost equals my revenue. So if we subtract over the 20x, divide by 4, and we get 25. So we have to sell 25 DVDs to break even. If we sell more than that, we make money. If we sell less than that, we lose money.
Do we have to write a sentence for this?
You do not.
Yeah, that's way easier.
Yeah, these are short, easy problems. All right, here's yours.
Oh.
All right. So a baker makes cakes and sells them at the county fair. The initial cost was $40. Each cake costs $2.50 to make. She charges $6.50 per cake. That's a cheap cake. So express the cost as a function of x. What's your cost function?
2.5 thanks plus 40.
Okay, she paid the 40 one time, and she had to buy the supplies for every cake, which was $2.50. All right, B. What is the revenue?
6.5.
6.5x.
Okay.
6.5x.
For what value of x does revenue equal cost? So if we set these things equal to find her break-even point, subtract over your 2.5, and you get x to be 10. So if she's got to sell 10 cakes to break even, more than that, she'll make money. Is that okay? Okay.
No.
Same thing, but a little bit different. We're still just talking about these costs. We're not solving any big, complex word problems here. A company produces 10 solar heaters for $7,500. The cost to produce 20 heaters is $13,900. I want to express the cost y as a linear function of the heaters x.
So you can just use the 2 points.
Yeah. Unlike the others, I didn't just give you the one-time thing and the repeated thing. What I gave you are essentially two ordered pairs. X is the number of heaters, and it tells me that y is the cost. So, 10 heaters cost 7,500. 20 heaters cost 13,900. But we know how to write the equation of a line, so if I had 2 ordered pairs, I can get the equation of my line. So we need our slope, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So we get 640. Then what do? Here you get your slope. So take a point and your slope. So y equals m times x plus b. Subtract over my 6,400, and I get 1,100. So part A, my actual equation is what?
640x plus
1100.
Y equals 640x plus 11. B, I want the cost to produce 25 heaters. So what do we do?
Multiply.
Plug in your 25 for x. And what do we-
160.
Sorry, I'm hearing a lot of different people.
16000.
Okay.
16,000.
Yeah, 7.
It's just.
I got 17,000.
I got 17.
Well,
16,000 plus.
Yeah, if you go ahead and add that,
17,000.
yeah, your final answer is this. You just gave me the answer.
Well, I thought that's what you wanted.
Yeah, it was what I was asking. Okay. All right, so the cost produced 25 heaters is $17,100. All right, are these okay?
Yeah.
Can I do 2 last very short examples?
No.
Only if it's
Yeah.
math Excel.
No.
Sorry, you will be disappointed. It is not Math Excel. But the last 2 examples are super short. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you,
Look at
Dave.
them, they're so
You
easy.
do the answer.
Oh, is this like the
All right.
facility?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it says
It's
hard
good.
This is not luxury.
I just looked at the formula. I was just
Okay, so this one tells me a trapezoid has an area of 169 square inches,
This is why we don't say yes to this.
a height of 13 inches, and a base of 19 inches. Find the length of the other base by first solving this formula for b sub 1. So my goal on these problems, and the last few on your homework today, it's just practice manipulating a formula. So really, my main emphasis here, I want to know, can you solve this for b sub 1? Can I get the b sub 1 by itself here?
Yes.
Okay, how could I get rid of a 1/2?
Multiply by 2.
Okay, so let's multiply each side by 2. So those would cancel, so we get 2a equals h times b sub 1 plus b sub 2.
And did I get rid of the parentheses?
Alright, gotta get rid of that h, so we could
Divide.
divide by it. So 2a over h equals b sub 1 plus b sub 2. And then to get b sub 1 by itself, subtract b sub 2. So I get b sub 1 equals 2a divided by h minus b sub 2. All right, so I just manipulated my formula. This one I'm also asking you to go one more step and calculate something. But we're just plugging in numbers. A is area. What was my area?
169.
Divided by h. H was my height, which was
13.
minus b sub 2. What was the length of my base?
19.
So we could plug that in. We get 7 inches.
Do you have to do the first part? Can you just plug it in and then
Um,
solve it that way?
You could have, but since I specifically said do it by first solving for b sub 1, I want you to do this.
I think I do.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's what I did wrong.
All right. So if I just give you a couple where we just practice solving for a variable. So P equals 2W plus 2L. If I want L by itself.
Subtract 2W.
So I get P, then what would you do?
Divide by
By
2.
2.
So L is P minus 2W divided by 2. Last problem of the day.
Well, you said 2, now we're doing 3.
Okay, well, there's 2 examples. This is just A and B.
No, you said 3. This is, oh, you said 2, this is 3. So I can't trust. No trust.
You
It's
don't
always
trust
a
me?
trap.
No.
Are we
I'm
fighting
hurt.
I'm sorry, are we fighting for Celsius right now?
Yes, this is a conversion between Celsius and Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to find F, how would I get rid of my 5/9?
Multiply by 9 bits.
And then what would you do?
Add 30. No.
Okay. So I am done.
Are you?
I really am this time. I mean
Is there
it.
another one hidden somewhere?
Is there,
There are no more hidden problems.
Look, she's writing it down.
So your homework is to finish the
Subtract.